Hey, Willie, come here. Listen to this.
Turn it up.
Welcome, everybody, to 3NN Podcast.
Now with more
My name is Nick Tesla.
I'm Brian McFadden.
And
he's
oh, yeah.
not with us today. Sorry,
yeah,
Rich.
Rich ain't here today. It's all right.
I thought I saw a ghost.
He'll be back next week for our godly episode.
It'll be divine.
Our goddamn episode. You like that? No, that's kind of fucked up. A lot of people would take offense to that. But no, it's funny, though, isn't it?
It's both.
Yeah,
it depends which side of the fence you're on.
Yeah, that's what it is, Brian. All right, so this is the official podcast of Open Minds Everywhere. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be a wonderful show. Going to be a blast of a show. We got a lot of things to touch on.
One of our favorite movies is Idiocracy, which I've been watching again recently.
So you think about stupidity in the future and how we're heading into this stupidity and how we're just getting more and more stupid. But if you really look into the history,
been stupid.
Exactly. Look at the history of the human race, and you come to find out we've been dummies for a long time. We're not the cream of the crop and sinking from the top. No. We have never been the cream of the crop at the top, okay? We've always been kind of stumbling along like some fucking idiots. Okay, pardon my language, but hey, if you listen to this show, you know that we don't censor ourselves.
We swear, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but I'm
rated R.
There's a slim possibility that I may end up on the radio or be able to get a radio show, and I have to be able to censor myself if I'm going to get onto the radio.
The FCC wouldn't like you.
The FCC wouldn't like me. You know, I can try and be like a Howard Stern, but even Howard Stern has to censor himself and can't really curse as much as he wants to. Can't really cuss up a storm like he wants to. So today, I want to get into the stupid history of the human race. Okay, there's a lot of things that we could touch on, especially when it comes to that particular topic. But I think I want to start with where it it starts from. It starts from individuals. It starts from individuals like me and you. I'm not saying me and you were stupid, but I'm just saying
stupid ass.
We like to think of stupid people in the past as almost being a character and didn't really exist. You know, it's like a kind of a funny story. But it's like, no, a lot of times these people really did exist. And what can cause that? You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, back in the day, there wasn't really too much psychology done on people, or it's not like psychology was really a big thing and studied too much, and the human psychology was not studied too much. Well, maybe it was, but not like it is nowadays. And nowadays, I think we can define people, and it's not good to just broadly define people because of their actions, but sometimes it is. But both the psychopath and the sociopath, I think, can help explain a lot of our stupid history. And I'm not saying all psychopaths are stupid or all sociopaths are stupid. I believe I'm somewhat of a sociopath, okay? Hey, I can admit it. But I think that's where a lot of this begins. So I'm going to give you the, a kind of a clinical thing that I found years ago about this that somebody passed on to me, and I guess they thought that I was either a psychopath or a sociopath. And it's fun to receive something like this and to kind of self-analyze a little bit.
Some surgery.
I may be Rick Moranis.
I believe you are Rick Moranis.
No, Rick Moranis is actually still around. I'd like to, once we end up with our studio, which is coming, and it's on its way. I can't wait. I'm getting so excited about it.
I want to see you and Rick Moranis stand side by side, because that's the only way I'll believe you.
I'd like to have Rick Moranis on the show and call the show "Honey, I Shrunk the Podcast."
Ooh,
you know? That's not the name of.
Well, actually,
obviously, it'll be a 3NN episode, but we'll call it "Honey, I Shrunk the Podcast."
But here's the thing: Moranis is a somewhat big name. He's been in a lot of big movies. He's known, you know. That would be Honey, I Blew Up the Podcast.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. You know. But maybe we could do the first episode.
Even though I hated that movie.
We maybe could get him on if he enjoys coming on the first episode. The first time he comes on, maybe he'll come on for a second one. And the first one we call Honey, I Shrunk the Podcast. And the second time he comes on, we call it Honey, I Blew Up the Podcast.
Ooh, I like the way you think.
You know, because then we would have people that have asked questions, so want us to ask some questions and this and that. I look forward to more interaction with our audience. So, but back to what we were talking about, the psychopath and the sociopath, because I may be Rick Moranis, but I am talking about psychopaths and sociopaths, not Rick Moranis, okay? Come on, we got to move on from that subject,
do
right?
that,
It's
then.
a sensitive subject here. All right.
Right, we keep that on the DL.
That's so on the DL, it's not even funny. That's under the DL.
Alex Jones is Bill Hicks.
That's under the DL. Exactly, just like that. All right. Both the psychopath and the sociopath fail to feel remorse or guilt. They appear to lack a conscience and are completely self-serving. They routinely disregard rules, social mores, and laws, unmindful of putting themselves or others at risk. Of the more distinguished traits, some argue that the sociopath to be less organized in his or her demeanor, nervous and easily agitated, someone likely living on the fringes of society without solid or consistent economic support. A sociopath is more likely to spontaneously act out in inappropriate ways without thinking through the consequences.
Ooh, that's me.
Conversely, some argue that the psychopath tends to be extremely organized, secretive, and manipulative. The outer personality is often charismatic and charming, hiding the real person beneath. Though psychopaths do not feel for others, they can mimic behaviors that make them appear normal. Upon meeting, one would have more of a tendency to trust a psychopath than a sociopath.
I've known a few of these.
Because of the organized personality of the psychopath, he or she might have a tendency to be better educated than the average sociopath, who probably lacks the attentive skills to excel in school. While psychopaths can fly under the radar of society, many maintaining families and steady work, a sociopath more often lacks the skills and drive for mimicking normal behavior, making seemingly healthy relationships and a stable home less likely. From a criminal standpoint, a sociopath's crimes are typically disorganized and spontaneous, while the psychopath's crimes are well planned out. For this reason, psychopaths are harder to catch than sociopaths, as a sociopath is more apt to leave ample evidence in his or her explosions of violence. But I also believe just because if you're a psychopath or a sociopath does not mean that you're inherently going to be a violent person or have incidents of explosive violence. You know, I think it's possible to be either or and not take it to that level. I know a lot probably do take it to that level in one way, shape, or form, but not take it to that level. So in the vein or in that light, okay, that we've just cast for you all over this show for today. Brian, do you have any stupid kind of shit that you can maybe
we have a whole
explain away with some mental disorders from back in the day or even somewhat recently? History does not have to be 150 years ago. It can be 10 years ago or 20 years ago.
How about the most utterly useless military commander of all time?
The most utterly useless, and it's not Patton? No, that's fucked up. So many people would take offense to that.
Publius Quinctilius Varus.
Oh, wow, that's an awesome name.
After occupying Jerusalem and crucifying 2,000 Jewish rebels in Judea, Varus went off to govern Germania and tame barbaric tribes.
Yeah, hold on, we're going to fix the microphone real quick so it's in front of Brian.
We're going to do this.
Yeah, that'll work. Cool.
Okay. Now, this was the 17th, 18th, 19th legions, revolt against the Rhine area, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm trying to get an idea of the time frame of when this happened.
Well, I would think if it's Israel, and it's saying Israel probably back when biblical times or somewhat around Roman and biblical times. Because a lot of people don't also understand that Roman and biblical times weren't that far apart from each other. And I think the Roman Empire existed during biblical times. Is that true or not, Brian? I'm not even sure. Never studied enough Christianity.
That's a good question.
To really know. I was never a good enough Christian to know if Romans existed. I'm pretty sure they did, right?
All I know here is, this dude led these 3 legions, right? These 3 Roman legions.
I'd love to see this animated right now. Okay, go ahead. This is like drunk history.
And the Germanic fighters demolished the 3 legions, and it pissed the friggin' king off something fierce.
Did you say the Germanic or the Jewmanic?
Germanic.
Okay.
Germanic. Germany.
Sorry, I sound anti-Semitic there.
So the legion numbers 17, 18, 19 never again appeared in the Roman army's order of battle due to the shame and bad luck they carried. The Battle of Teutoburg Forest darkened Emperor Augustus's remaining years. He was heard on occasion to moan, "Quinctilius Varus, give me back my legions."
Give me back.
He wants his dead legions back.
All right.
Okay.
What else you got?
What do we got? I don't care about the most badass nuns of all time. Okay, here we go. People love sports, right? This is America. America! Sports!
I like some sports. I love basketball right now. Ben Simmons, son!
I like football. That's about it.
Oh, you suck. Oh, yeah, your team just went to the Super Bowl, so you're, like, reinforced in your love for football.
We played, utter shit in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you guys went to the Super Bowl. Just like when the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, we played like utter... Actually, no, we were close.
Well, here you go. The 10 most bizarre sports. And some of these, I think, are pretty freaking stupid.
Like soccer. What a fucking bizarre sport.
Oh, no. Number 10, canine freestyle. It's a bizarre sport in which dogs perform a freestyle dance, which is a mix of obedience, tricks, and dancing with their owner's time to music.
That sounds like it's not necessarily a sport. It sounds like some of the what do you call it, the dog show shit. That just sounds like a feature of dog show or an event at a dog show, and they're calling it a sport. All right, go ahead. What's another
Swamp soccer.
Swamp soccer. That sounds like fucking so much
soccer
fun.
played in bogs or swamps, originated north of England.
You have to use your legs for
There
soccer.
are currently 260 swamp soccer teams around the world.
Oh, all right.
How about tractor pulling?
Tractor pulling, dude. I've seen tractor pulling, and it is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in my entire life. But hey, then again, if you're out on a farm all day and you're looking for something fun to do, and that's the life you know, tractor pulling seems like it's something probably be fun to do.
For those who don't know, truck and tractor pulling is a competition in which tractors or trucks are used to pull very heavy sleds along a track.
Do you remember they used to show that on ESPN?
Yeah.
They used to play that shit on ESPN.
Yep.
I used to love watching that shit because it was just like, what's going on here? Like, really, what are they doing here? Like, I don't understand really the big point. All right, good.
Number 7, bun climbing.
Bun climbing?
Oh, yes. It's a sport in Hong Kong in which people scurry up a tall tower covered in steamed sweet buns. What? The winner of the so-called bun scramble is the person who is able to gather the most buns on his way up the pole.
What? So you stick them to yourself? You climb up and stick the buns to yourself?
Or put them in the bag as you're climbing or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I wonder if you can carry them in your stomach, if that counts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Start eating the friggin'
you
things.
Throw up halfway up on everybody below you.
Yeah, there you go. You win, because they'll give up.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't give up. I'd fucking make it my point to get up to the top or get up to you and kick your ass for throwing up on me, dick.
Number 6, mountain unicycle.
Mountain unicycle. That just sounds fucking idiotic and insane. Right there. That is
It's
stupid
apparently
shit.
rugged men on unicycles taking like rocky trails and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
That is insane.
Because you know, like one slip and
Yeah, I'd call that stupid. Whoever
like
thought
a piano
of that
going down a flight of stairs.
This one sounds
Never
fun. I'm
stairs.
curious. I'd like to watch this sport, chess boxing.
Chess boxing does sound pretty interesting.
Two words you never thought you'd see together.
Game. Quite interesting.
It involves a 2-minute boxing round and a 4-minute chess competition. There's even a governing body, the World Chess Boxing Association, and their motto is, fighting is done in the ring, but war is waged on the board. Number 4 is Punkin Chunkin. We know that was on ESPN also.
Yeah, Punkin Chunkin. If you know anybody in Delaware, there's the Punkin Chunkin. There's a Punkin. That's where it's from, right?
Yes.
It says it right there, right, Delaware?
Well, it doesn't mention where it's from here.
It doesn't mention
I know
Delaware.
that it's
bullshit.
from Delaware.
Yeah, because it's from Delaware. That's like the only place they do Punkin Chunkin.
We kind of know that here.
How everything's proliferated on the internet. I'm sure there's Punkin Chunkins in other parts of the country, but it started in Delaware, like down in the redneck part of Delaware, the South. People don't realize, like, it's like going to Alabama when you get to southern Delaware. So
yeah, it's weird. It doesn't say, it just says, here's the entire write-up. Punkin Chunkin is another sport involving the use of heavy machinery. In the competition, any large mechanical device can be used to toss a pumpkin as far as possible. People come from all around with their homemade catapults, slingshots, and air cannons to win the glorious title of greatest pumpkin chucker.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
the whole fucking
those
write-up.
machines are fucking badass, dude. If we honestly, I think if we ever went to or got invaded, I don't want to say went to war. If we got invaded and the fucking military was like, the military was defeated like immediately somehow, and the people had to fight back, I think they'd be a great asset to us with their pumpkin chunkers. You know what I'm saying?
True. Okay, number 3. Number 3, outhouse racing.
That's as long as they're not full. That sounds amazing.
Outhouse racing, as its name implies, is a sport in which someone sits on a toilet in a portable outhouse and gets pushed and dragged around by his friends.
Yeah, spot-a-pot. Hell yeah, dude. That sounds like a lot of fun as long as there's not shit in the spot-a-pot. There's shit in the spot-a-pot. No matter what, when you're sitting on that thing, unless it's got a seat cover, shit's gonna be like splashing up on you because people have pissed into that thing too. If it's used, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Number 2, air sex. It's a Japanese sport in which fully clothed men pretend to have sex with invisible partners. Often, the simulated sex acts are set timed to music and involve exaggerated sexual motions. The current holder of the world champion title goes only by the mysterious name of Cobra.
Hey, that's my brother and your brother in humanity right there. That's how stupid we are.
We are. It's Idiocracy. The number 1 stupidest sport ever, mind ball.
Oh, mind ball's awesome. What are you talking about? What is mind ball? If it's what I think it is actually kind of cool. But go ahead.
Okay.
Probably not.
Mind ball is the most mind-numbingly boring sport invented. 2 players sit opposite each other with electronic instruments attached to their heads. Then they use the power of the mind to move a ball around a table. It takes considerable time to see the ball move. Next time you're invited to a mind ball championship, I recommend that you stay home and watch paint dry instead.
Wait, hold on. Did you say they're hooked up to a thing? I don't know how or why, Brian, but I just zoned out like hardcore in the middle of what you were saying.
They have electronic shit attached to their heads, and they use the power of their mind to move the ball.
Okay, yeah. That's cool, dude. I'm sorry. You might think it's stupid, but if you've seen that mind ball game, it's like a Hasbro game or some shit. It's not like, and it is real. It's like using your mind waves. If you've heard of mind wave,
there you go.
The thing. I actually have it somewhere over here.
Do you have anything ready? Because I can give you something really stupid.
I got something ready for you, and then you can hit me with that. So let me just read you this. Hopefully it's not something too crazy that fucks our heads up. All right. This is just completely random, folks. In January 1966, a KC-135 tanker collided with a B-52 during mid-air refueling, and the ensuing explosion released all 4 of the B-52's 20-megaton nuclear bombs over Palomares, Spain. 2 of the bomb's explosive igniters detonated on impact, spreading radioactive plutonium over a large portion of the Spanish countryside. Fortunately, no nuclear reaction took place. The 3rd bomb bounced off the ground and harmlessly nested into a crater of its own making. The 4th bomb landed in the Mediterranean Sea. In order to retrieve that unexploded bomb, the U.S. 6th Fleet, consisting of 33 ships and 3,000 men, searched for nearly 3 months before they could find and recover the weapon. I'm sure after they found the highly radioactive device, everyone was all aglow. Wow. And also another little side note, 10-gallon hats cannot hold 10 gallons of anything. They don't even hold 1 gallon. They're pretty much filled to the brim with 3 quarts.
Oh.
So a 10-gallon hat is just a phrase of speech. Go ahead, Brian. What did you have for me? You said you had something crazy?
I have 10 college courses, some of which are a stupid waste of money, in my opinion.
Okay.
You might agree.
Okay.
Number 10 is The Unbearable Whiteness of Barbie.
Well, college in itself is stupid all around, so if I was going to go to college, I'd get one of these, or I'd go to one of these classes, I'm sure.
The Unbearable Whiteness of Barbie?
That's one of the more, I guess, racist kind of thing,
Scientific racism has been put to use in the making of Barbie, according to...
I've seen that, though. There's many community colleges and shit that, like, have little programs like that are, like, focused for social justice warriors and shit, and the whole social justice warrior shit is complete nonsense.
Oh, I love this book, dude.
Nobody does any real research.
You know what it says about that one?
What?
At the very last sentence?
What?
I wonder if this course was offered when a certain gentleman named Barack Obama was roaming the corridors of West Coast Institution.
Oh! Isn't that hilarious?
Damn!
Yeah, there's some crazy shit. All right, what's the next college course that's a complete waste of time?
Theology of Eating.
Theology of Eating?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds pretty awesome, honestly. That's like a course for me and Rich right there.
Students are taught the complex religious aspects associated with eating, exploring the texts to expound the intricacies of etiquette in a canonical context.
Okay, yeah, it's just utter nonsense. You go to that class and fall asleep.
This is actually a college course, are you kidding me?
What is it?
Number 8, ladies and gentlemen, you could go to college and major in stupidity.
Oh, that's probably that's the type of course that Brian would like to take if he ever went to college. I'm not saying you never did. I don't know if you did or not. But if you ever went to college, that's the course Brian would take. Like, stupidity? Like, perfect. Oh, I bet you we're going to watch Idiocracy one day.
The course itself uses works of Friedrich Nietzsche and
Nietzsche.
Giles Deleuze. Deleuze? Maybe. Among others, to clarify that stupidity is neither ignorance nor organicity.
Okay.
But rather a corollary of knowing and an element of normalcy, the double of intelligence rather than its opposite. Only those who indulge in it must know. That sounds like some cult shit. What the hell?
No, but honestly, Brian, reading that phrase right there will help you to understand, and I have never been able to really put it into words, and that's kind of the closest I've seen words put it into, is why I like to do and touch on stupid shit on this show. I'm not talking about our topic today of stupid human history. I'm talking about the most offbeat, random, stupid shit you'll see me just touch on. You're like, what the fuck is he touching on? It's part of that. Is the stupidity is almost double intelligent. I'm not sitting here trying to toot my horn and say I'm double intelligent. No. But there's a whole nother level of, there's stupidity to the point where you're losing intelligence and you're going backwards on intelligence. But there's a whole nother level of stupidity where you can kind of have an underlying message behind your stupidity, which is why I love South Park.
Well, I'll take you to something
that.
Even stupider.
All right, what's the next one?
Number 7, you could major in the joy of garbage.
The joy of garbage. Oh, my God. I didn't know there was such a thing as joy.
A science class for non-science majors. The joy of garbage is apparently a serious class where students are required to do research and learn how to work with data. Mm-hmm. Among the questions asked are, what is the difference between garbage, discard, and waste?
No, it does raise some interesting questions, but I don't know if it's worth fucking spending $35,000 to go to this school to study trash.
Right.
You know, the differences between trash. I think that could be kind of incorporated into an environmental course.
Well, maybe you would rather major in the art of sin and the sin of art.
Ooh,
yeah.
See, some of these are just like
that one could be interesting.
Some of them are just made for people that go to college and don't want to be there.
Yeah,
you know?
It like really wouldn't probably. I don't know what you would do in life after getting that degree.
All of these. That's what I'm thinking. With all of these, is like, what are you going to do in life after
I would
taking this course?
very much love to take course number 5, philosophy and Star Trek.
That's they try and say that's it's bizarre. It's not stupid.
Yeah,
that's not a stupid course. That is a little bit of a bizarre choice for a course, but I can guarantee you there's also places or colleges today that have philosophy of Star Wars courses. I can guarantee you right now, today, you could look up and find at least 10 different college courses around the country that have philosophy of Star Wars in the title or some shit like that.
Well, how about, oh God. See, this is sad. This is where we get into personal choice, because I would love to take philosophy and Star Trek, number 5 here.
I would.
Number 4, zombies, the living dead in literature, film, and culture.
That's an interesting topic. I'd love to see the professor teaching that.
Okay, let's see how this.
He's got to be.
Let's see what they say about it. The American South is still the bastion of conservatism and evangelism, but that doesn't stop them from trying to expound zombies. The credit for this pioneering course must go to Sean Chode, professor of English at the University of Alabama at Tuscaloosa, who draws parallels between American consumption patterns and zombies. His observation that zombies act as a mirror for Americans, not only as we see ourselves, but also as the rest of the world sees America in the time of George W. Bush and Barack Obama, as a roaming, voracious killer, turning its victims into soulless creatures like itself. Maybe a little far-fetched, but Hode's students aren't complaining. Ooh. That could be an interesting course, depending how they teach it.
I was interested from the get-go.
Number 3, maple syrup, the real thing.
Maple syrup.
You can major in maple syrup.
That's idiotic. Might as well have a course on pancakes too. I got pancakes in the morning, and then I got lunch, and then I got to go to maple syrup.
The only prerequisite for the course is the willingness to work for long periods in snow, cold, and mud.
What? Oh, okay, yeah, because you're going out and harvesting.
Yeah, you have to tap that out of a tree.
Yeah, but you also got to go see those trees being born and little baby trees, you know what I'm saying? You got to go see the whole evolution of the maple tree, not just tapping it out the tree. You got to go out into the tundra and find that shit.
Yeah, they take you out, they put you through all of that. They take you to local restaurants and festivals and stuff like that, local production plants. It's the real thing, so students can find jobs easily with this course on their resume.
Today's episode of 3NN has been brought to you by China. Not the country, but the dead wrestler.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Isn't it? How about the art of walking?
The art of walking. I like that. I like that a lot.
The art of walking might seem trivial to some, but not to Dr. Ken Keffer.
I got the art of walking in the morning, then I go to lunch, and I got the physics of throwing a frisbee in the afternoon. That's what that sounds like. It's like, what are you doing with yourself in college? Really? The art of walking and the physics of throwing a frisbee? You're kidding me, right?
And maple syrup, the real thing.
Yeah, I guess I should just use real examples. Exactly. I got maple syrup in the morning, and then the art of walking in the afternoon. It's like, what are you doing after school?
3 days a week, you also have that class about the phallus.
The phallus.
That's number 1 on the list.
That's an awesome class. That's an awesome class. I wonder... I don't know, honestly, because there's nothing wrong with having a healthy obsession with a phallus. Well, and all that does is reinforce it and build those healthy obsessions.
Well, that's for people at the Occidental College. They decided that a course of
Gotta
human
love an
events,
Occidental College.
Yeah, it becomes necessary for students to delve into the signification of the phallus.
Didn't
and the
Obama go to an Occidental College?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Relation of the phallus to masculinity, femininity, genital organs, and the fetish.
Nice.
Since it's self-evident that the phallus occupies a central theme in the psychoanalytic theories of gender and sexuality, the course occupies a pivotal role in the intercultural and queer program.
Wow. And for anybody that doesn't know, a phallus is a big, giant, veiny dick. All right, that's what a phallus is. So kind of, you were like, hold on, wait, what? What is that talking about? What? Yes, that is a dick. That course is all about dick. You can just call it, I got dick in the morning and then maple syrup in the afternoon, you know?
Oh, according to this book, by the way, the Antichrist is a conspiracy theory.
Of course it is.
Just random
of course
thought
it is.
There.
All right, I got a couple here for you, Brian, and then I'll let you take it away. All right, this is some more randomness. Hopefully it ties in. I think it will. All right, look, an article in the April 1984 edition of Technology Review titled Retro Breeding the Woolly Mammoth described an effort by Soviet scientists to bring the woolly mammoth back from extinction. The article explained that DNA taken from a woolly mammoth found frozen in the Siberian ice was injected into living elephant cells. The elephant served as a surrogate mother for the hybrid cells, which gestated full term, producing the first mammon telephos. The heads of the project were reported as being one Dr. Sverbighus, Nikiforovich Yasmalov of the University of Irkutsk, and a Dr. James Creek of MIT. But the story of the newly created woolly mammoth was nothing but a shaggy dog story concocted as an April Fool's joke by Diana Ben Aaron. However, before the story became known as a hoax, it was widely reported in the mainstream media as a real mammoth scientific breakthrough. Another example of news media getting the woolly pulled over their eyes. And see how some could just be made up and they'll run with it and they don't even nobody come on, it's somebody's joke and
it's
all the news
isn't it somebody's job to vet the story to see if it's legitimate or not?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the type of thing where they just believe anybody that says anything. Yeah. You know? It's really sad. The gray whale is actually black, by the way. In October 1971, the Arbea Roman Fort and Museum in South Shields, England, was proudly displaying an exhibition of Roman artifacts found nearby. The museum is located near the end of Hadrian's Wall, built by the Romans around AD 160. One case contained a Roman sesterce coin identified by museum experts as having been minted sometime between AD 135 and AD 138. But one visitor, 90-year-old Fiona Gordon, claimed to have seen similar coins much later than that, given out as a token by a local soda bottler. She pointed out the soda bottler's trademark on the reverse of the coin. The R Museum, officially had originally taken to mean Roman, actually stood for the soft drink manufacturer Robinson's. The realization they had been displaying a fake Roman coin made the curators feel like glutae maximi.
Ooh.
Isn't that fucking hilarious? That's pretty stupid. And that just shows how, like, even the people who think they're smart are sometimes pretty stupid themselves.
They are.
Come on. Really? 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 Really, Brian? Really? Did you have something else, Brian?
I do not at the moment. I will say one thing that is stupid.
What's stupid, Brian?
Hillary Clinton is still allowed to run for president while she's being formally investigated by the FBI for treason.
That's pretty stupid. That's pretty stupid. And you know what the funniest part is? She'll probably win. I know a lot of people will argue with that, and we're coming up on an election episode, so tune in for our views. But, yeah, that is pretty stupid, Brian. That is pretty stupid.
We got a lot of powerful stuff coming at you guys in the coming weeks.
Our political system is pretty stupid. The federal government spent nearly $300,000 to build a community center in the woods between two Michigan towns. Money ran out before the roads to the facility could be finished, so no one from either town was able to use their center. It eventually collapsed to disrepair. That's our government. That's our government.
Wow.
The post office printed a batch of international stamps in 1999 featuring a picture of the Grand Canyon and this message across each stamp: Grand Canyon, Colorado. The Grand Canyon is located in Arizona.
Oopsie.
City officials ordered a novelty shop in Houston to stop selling edible underwear because the store didn't have a food service license. Really?
Wow.
Policy enforcers? That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, for real. That sounds like some police state Big Brother type shit.
Policy enforcers, I'm telling you, man.
Yep.
It's all about just policies and collecting that check, you know what I'm saying? Or getting people to have to send a check, you know?
I would like to thank the Fort Dix cop that gave me a ticket for 45 and a 35 when I was doing 33 and a 35, because if I was actually doing 45, I would have been inside the car in front of me.
Ah, okay.
Just saying.
All right, Brian. All right, give a shout out. Shout out to that officer.
Shout out to that officer. I forget your name, sir, but it was nice of you to let me go with a 45 and a 35 instead of the 57 that you claimed to pace me at, which would have had you riding in my truck with me.
Yep. All right, listen. The United States government spends billions on defense each year to kill all our enemies, anyone who was thinking of becoming our enemy, and most of the people who just look at us funny. But the feds also spend countless millions on non-defense, developing new weapons that are never actually put into use. These projects get canceled before completion, but not before costing us millions in tax dollars. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? Here are millions of dollars worth of nothing. Huh?
That's outside in the hallway.
No, I was like, the microphone stem. Here are millions of dollars worth of nothing. The B-1A and XB-70 bombers, the ANP nuclear airplane, and the Roland SA, Navajo, Snark, Rascal AS, and Skybolt
Snark?
missiles.
They have something called Snark?
Yep. And she got a snook in her snooze. Probably those millions went into deciding upon names for the non-weapons. Exactly. And people say, well, that's okay. Well, where's that money go?
Let's call it HARP, and we'll put a second A in it.
I don't know. I think that's more the shadow government. All right, look. At the same time that the federal government was spending millions of dollars on programs to convince teenagers and others not to kill themselves by smoking cigarettes, Congress authorized a $328 million subsidy to support the nation's tobacco farmers, who were losing money because of the decline in cigarette sales.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Isn't that funny? Hand in hand they go.
Somebody done got caught.
Yeah, look. When Harold Ross, publisher of The New Yorker, had his fictional magazine character Eustace Tilley registered in the New York City phone book, city administrators sent Tilley a tax bill.
Oh, shit.
It doesn't even fucking exist. All right. The power of stupidity. Okay. What do the following rulers have in common? 1. British Prime Minister David Lloyd George, who called Adolf Hitler a great man. 2. Idi Amin, dictator of Uganda, who tried to exterminate the East Indians and Pakistanis in his country, whom he labeled the Jews of Africa. And 3. Nguyen Cao Khai, U.S. supporter premier of South Vietnam, who in the late 60s suggested that he could beat the Viet Cong if his country only had 4 or 5 Hitlers. No, not just their admiration for the world's most successful lunatic, but the obvious fact which only rulers a little low on ammunition could miss, that Hitler would have happily exterminated all of them if he had succeeded with his master plan to conquer the world. I don't even know what that means.
It's saying that they envy and look up to a man that would have killed them if he had his way.
All right, let's change pace. Who's dumber, a moron or an idiot? All right.
Good question.
Stew on that. The moron is the guy who speeds past you recklessly on the right, while the idiot is the guy in front of you going too slow, forcing you to pass him on the right. Or is it the other way around? We have become so accustomed to think of idiots and morons as everyone who gets in our way that we forget that they were once technical terms. The idiot was an adult who had the brains of a 3-year-old kid. The moron was doing much better. He had the brains of an 8-year-old. Look around you.
Really?
If you find enough morons with the brains of 8-year-olds, you're probably living in a college town. That's true.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Who's smarter, dumb beasts or dumb men?
Probably dumb beasts.
President John Tyler buried his favorite horse with these words inscribed on the tombstone. Here lies the body of my good horse, the General. For 20 years he bore me around the circuit of my practice, and all in that time he never made a blunder. Would that his master could say the same. People frequently honor their laudable pets and other beasts of our burdens. No animal has left an epitaph for man. Isn't
Very
that true?
true.
Isn't that true?
True,
Maybe
true.
a parrot has. You know, what do you think? What do you think about your master dying, Polly? Sucks. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Or what about gorillas and monkeys that can sign language?
Oh,
Have
maybe,
they ever
yeah.
left an
Yeah,
epitaph
true.
for their
That's a
their
good-
fallen comrade?
That's actually something worth looking
human?
into that we should probably...
Something awesome we're looking into,
Yeah.
isn't it? I don't know.
That's something we should look into one of these days.
Is it a smart idea to take advice? I struggle with
depends
this
on
in
the
my head
advice.
all the time. It does depend on the advice, but then again, are you...
Are you getting good advice or bad advice? You know, that's what it comes
Well,
down to.
even if it is good advice, are you kind of...
It's the good advice.
Are you kind of like negating what life is throwing at you, just the natural course of life, the ups and downs? If you take somebody's advice, like, could that be almost ignoring what is supposed to happen to you and following somebody else's plan of how they can see you can get out of that either funk or goodness or whatever it is, you know?
That's an interesting question.
I don't know. Look, here's the only advice you should ever take. Don't ever take advice. Sounds like advice, but it's
Wow.
not advice. That's a paradox, and the whole point of a paradox is that you can't follow it. Actually, there could be some advice worth taking. Unfortunately, it's not the kind people give out. Nearly everyone who knows what they're doing keeps it to themselves. If they shared it, then everyone would know what they knew, and it wouldn't work anymore.
Interesting.
That's why I watch like interviews with people like Elon Musk and what do you call it? I don't really watch anything with Bill Gates, like Donald Trump even, you know what I'm saying? People who have made money, and by talking to them, inherently they're going to slip some of their kind of secrets and like what they believe and what their beliefs are, because your beliefs lead to what your life turns out to be. So inherently they're going to slip some of what their beliefs are. They're not going to be lying and making it up the whole entire time, which they may be, or they may be trying to.
That's why I like watching videos from like lectures from people who work at CERN.
Yeah.
Like I saw one where he's talking to
crazy.
he's talking to his people, but one of the parts where he slips up, he says, well, of course we know there's two stories to everything. There's what we tell the people, and then there's the truth. And that was caught on camera.
Yeah. Exactly, dude. I'm zoned out here. I'm sorry. All right.
That's pretty stupid to make that admission on camera.
Yeah. Are we better off than our ancestors?
Depends.
We have so much more than any generation before
We're killing
us.
ourselves more than they did, probably.
Isn't that a sign of our progress? We got so much
Is it?
more.
That's a sign of our progress? Us killing ourselves?
No.
No.
Not that. Stop it. Stop it. All right, look, the more we have, the more failure to go around. Everything we make is failure-based. Take any common product. This book, for example, it looks like 1,000 other books you've seen, other than the title and the words, but it probably doesn't fit in your pocket for easy transport. When you're through reading a page, you have to turn it to the next one. If you're reading in bed, you have to hold it open. It may contain words or ideas you wish it didn't. It may not contain words and ideas you wish it did. It is not the perfect book. No book is. Neither is the light that shines on the book, the chair you're sitting in, the room the chair is in, the house the room is in. Our faults abound. What's amazing about the human race is how easily we live with our faults. You can go through life with your pantry half stocked and get away with it. The stupid elk is quickly an ex-elk. The stupid person has friends, family, social welfare, low standards, and good luck to sustain them. Our inventions are inspired by the are inspired by the faults of the inventions that went before. The new stuff we rush onto the market contains enough faults to inspire another round of inventors to design and produce more faulty merchandise. They can make fortunes on things that never quite work right because consumers will always trade new frustrations for old. Anytime the user's manual is more than 10 pages thick, that's a sign of bad engineering. They didn't get it right inside the machine, and they're counting on you to make up the difference.
Interesting.
But we solve so many problems. Within each solution is the promise of strange problems never foreseen. Take the common paperclip, brilliant little device for holding papers together. Problem solved. But studies show that only 1 out of every 10 paperclips is used to hold papers together. The other 9 are lost in paperclip-shaped crevices, used to clean teeth, fingernails, and ears, and to hold ties to shirts, turned into game chips or weapons, or twisted into garbage to relieve nervous tension. People waste money, break fillings, poke out eardrums with a problem-solving device that was designed for none of its more popular uses.
I couldn't imagine sticking that in my ear.
What? Yeah.
Paperclip.
Yeah.
That'd be
Oh, you never used a paperclip to try and get the earwax out? Yeah, I have.
Not
It
a
sucks because
paperclip,
you hit your
no.
eardrum, or you when you hit your
hell
eardrum.
no.
Oh man,
Hell
it's the
no.
worst feeling.
Fuck that.
It'll give you an earache for like 3 or 4 days.
No, homie, don't play that.
When I was younger, I haven't done that in probably 15, 20 years. When I was younger, I did do that. I would find a paperclip. I needed to find something that I could get into my ear and scratch the inside of
Used
my
a
ear with.
paperclip? Oh,
Yeah, sucks,
God.
right?
Ow.
Yep.
Just
All right.
thinking about it. Ugh.
Won't learning how stupid we are have a negative effect on us? Bound to. Won't learning how stupid we are have a negative effect on us? Right? Oh, shit. Bound to. So relax, settle back, and feel those IQ points melting away. IQ points? What a waste of numbers. Intelligence is the most overrated of human quirks because it's rated by people who have a vested interest in rating intelligence highly. It's their ace in the hole. Tigers don't rank themselves by intelligence. But the next time you're standing within fang range of a tiger, ask yourself why, if you're so smart, he's not afraid of you. IQ points? No one ever looked at a tiger and said, his claws are only 97% as sharp as the claws on this superior tiger over here. Points are meaningless. Any tiger is sharp enough to get the job done.
True that.
And then last but not least, and then we got to take on off, Brian.
Yeah, we do.
Is, how is the stupid future shaping up?
Idiocracy.
Is it Idiocracy? Let's take a look. I'm going to tell everybody the name of this
Brought to you
book
by
that they
Carl's
wanna get
Jr.
A look at. This is a great book. Just because we think the human race has made a mess of this opportunity for life on a dinky planet, it doesn't mean we're pessimists. What would it take to get us to change our idiotic ways, to stop killing one another, to clean up the air, water, and New Jersey?
It says that?
Yeah.
New Jersey.
To switch from a misery-based system to happiness mode, in which we spent more of our lives enjoying peace, harmony, and strong beer, and less time in mess-deepening activities? Obviously, intelligence isn't going to get the job done. It's our brains that got us into this mess in the first place.
Ooh.
But here's where our optimism jumps in. We're just stupid enough to stumble our way out of the mess we stumbled into. If anything is going to see us through, it's pure dumb luck. That's one resource the human race has yet to deplete.
Nice.
That's true, my friend. That's true.
Ain't that the truth?
For the truth. Oh, that book is called The Stupid History of the Human Race by Bob Fenster, I believe it is. All right. Yeah, Bob Fenster. Great book, Bob. Thanks. Love to have you on sometime if you ever hear this. Shout out. I'll put a link to the Amazon page where you can get that in the description on the YouTube channel or on the YouTube video that comes up for this. Been a freaking crazy show. A lot of stupid stuff. So it felt a little bit stupid. Honestly, the show has felt a little bit stupid today.
Shout out to Eric M. I know he's dealing with some stupid people these days.
Yeah, stupidity is all around you. It's all you got to do is just.
And no, they're not
look.
morons. They're stupid. They're idiots.
I don't like judging anybody as being stupid. I like judging acts as being stupid. I like seeing certain acts and calling them stupid. But calling anybody stupid is opening the door for somebody to call you stupid. And that person may actually be smarter than you, and in a sense, you are kind of stupid compared to them. You know what I'm saying? Everything's kind of relative.
He's arguing semantics, ladies
don't
and gentlemen.
call people stupid. That's what I'm saying. Or don't in your head. If you want to call somebody stupid to the face, go ahead and do it. I mean... In your head, don't call people stupid. Don't be judgmental, because if you're not judgmental inside your head, then eventually...
I love the way you say that. To their face, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you don't do it in your head, after a certain amount of time, you won't do it to people's faces. And you'll find different ways to, I don't want to say insult them, but different ways to kind of let them know, hey, you're a little bit of a dummy. You know what I'm saying? But when you do that to other people, you take the risk on people. It's like karma, people doing the same to you. So it's been a wonderful show. Find us youtube.com/where we lied to, facebook.com/3NM podcast.
And, next week we got some.
Next week we got a couple different topics coming to you. We got What is God? 53.5 What is God? And the big one, chemtrails. Brian's been dying to do it, so it's going to be fun. We'll see you next week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that.
Let me know when this gets irritating, okay?
Now! It's irritating almost at once.